What's up, guys and gals? We're back at it with more Run 8 Train Simulator. We're picking up with our Q544 that we were taking north. It's been a few days. It wasn't the last Run 8 video, but the one before that. We had the Q544. We originally started this train down in Waycross. We took it out of the yard north to Fitzgerald. We did a crew change at Fitzgerald like they did back in the day. And now we are simulating the run up to Atlanta, the long pool, the 202-mile or 205-mile trip. We can only go to Gay, Georgia, though. That's as far north as we can go on Hyrail Simulations Fitzgerald Subdivision and Manchester Subdivision. If you remember, we went in the hole last video. We went in the hole at Lilly. We met a southbound, I think it was a K train, right? A molten sulfur train. And he just got by us. So let's go ahead and hop on the engines, and we need to tone up auto and see if we can get out of here. So we're going to do that by hitting channel and then 14. That's going to put us on channel 14. And then we're going to hit star 5 DTMF to tone him up. And we'll see what he has to say. We've got some more trains out there to meet, so I'm not getting too hopeful on this. Let's release a parking brake too. We need to get that off of there. Request a signal. Let's see what he says. Proceed on signal indication. Really? He's going to give us a light. I'm kind of surprised by that because I know we've got some other trains not too far out there. I do know that. They're not too far out there as far as meeting them, so... Alright, let's go ahead and knock the brakes off. Let that charge up a little bit. And we'll blast off and be on our way. We'll look at our train stats here in a minute, just to kind of refresh you guys what we're dealing with. This is a good running train. I really enjoyed this one. Alright, there we go. Kind of stretch the slack out just a little bit. And let's double check. We do have a medium clear out of the siding at Lilly, so we're good to go, guys. Yeah, we absolutely are. Nice. Alright. Headlight on bright. We're good with that. This is a control siding, so we did come in on a restricting. We leave out on a medium, though. It's going to be a 25-mile-an-hour siding when we leave out. Train stats. Yeah, train stats for today. Q54412, 1.9 HPT. 5474 on tons, 29 loads, 63 empties. 5778 on length. So not too bad. Pretty typical train back then. Before precision railroading, right? Before the hot mess that we all call precision railroading today. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of it at all. All right, so we're good on that crossing. Let's go ahead. Open the throttle a little bit more. I am so surprised we're leaving out of here. Something on the last video made me think that we were going to be sitting there for another train, but I guess, I don't know. I guess I was wrong. I'm really surprised we're leaving out. All right, let's go ahead and count off the siding there. Kill the bell, and we'll be on our way. So next siding is Dooling. We could be going in at Dooling. Oglethorpe isn't an option. Oglethorpe on this route is one of those areas that will kind of screw you over because it's such a short siding. It's only 4,000 and change, just a little shy of 5,000, right? So not a lot of trains are going to fit there. So it's either a Dooling or Ideal, right? Like there's nothing in between. I'll show you that on here. We'll take a peek. Yeah, Dooling or Ideal, like that's it for us. We're leaving out. There's Dooling. Oglethorpe we won't fit. And then we got Ideal right there. We do have someone coming south though, so there may be like he's got us lined through to Oglethorpe, so we're not. I don't think this guy will fit there. Looks like he's gonna. It looks like the southbound's the one that got he got stabbed at Ideal. Oh no, yeah. He's gonna be there for a hot minute, that's for sure, guys. He's gonna be there for a long time. Really a long time. Could you even imagine running a train precision, precision schedule railroading. I just, I don't know. This route, this route is built to period of like 2002 to 2004. So it most definitely wasn't set up for precision railroading back then, and the kind of trains that go along with that, the 10, 15,000 foot long trains. So there's been a lot of changes to the route since then that's made it a little bit more tolerable to do, but I don't see how they do it. I really don't. I don't see how they run those crazy long trains. Because I think even with the new stuff they did to the route, we better slow down a little more. Even the new stuff they did to the route, it still makes it hard on them to run those big trains on this line. So, I don't know. It's a mess. It's a hot mess, right? That's like one of my favorite things. It's a hot mess. I need to do a t-shirt. It just has on the front of it. It's a hot mess, right? All right, so Dooling is next. Let's shift F8 so you guys can kind of follow along where we're at. We'll be out of this siding in a minute. We'll be able to open it up. 50-mile-an-hour train, of course. We got empties in our train, so 50 mile an hour. If we had all loads and no hazmat, we'd be able to do 60. At least back then we could. But like, that was so rare. I never had a 60-mile-an-hour freight train. I never saw one. Never had that. Not to say that they weren't out there. They probably were. Never say never on the railroad, right? But I never had one. All right, we're clear of the siding. We can go ahead and come out of the throttle. Get it opened up a little bit here. Yeah, that dude, that southbound is going to get really, he's been done dirty at Ideal. He's been done dirty at Ideal. That almost happened to us in a previous video. The dispatcher held us at Ideal for when it was coming by Dooling. The thing is, we could have actually, in that video, we actually fit at Ideal, but Auto in the game completely disregards Oglethorpe as an option. Just because the side, like, it really messes with him. So if you're running with Auto, he is never going to stick you in the hole at Oglethorpe. So what we did on that video is, because I knew we would fit there, we kind of intervened and put ourselves in there, right? Then it worked out. We got a 40 right here. And we got a pretty good downhill. Let's go ahead and grab some air. Yeah, we're gonna get a little fast on this. Spur was not paying attention. I was running my mouth. It's gonna be all right. We'll get a little fast in it. It's okay. Not the end of the world. We'll be all right. Go ahead and make it a 10 though, so we won't get stuck brakes. There we go. Now we're back down. Speed's back down. We're climbing back up, right? Like, that is the story of the Fitz. Up and down all the time. So we're in a 40. We got to resume. No, that's not a resume speed. That is a whistle post. I thought that was going to be our resume speed there, but it's not. It seems like there's a pretty good stretch of 40 through here, actually. Now, thinking back on it, I think it is. I think it's a little bit of a stretch through here. And we're right back down another 0.9. Like, it's up and down right here, right? It's up and down big time. We may have to grab some more air. I really don't want to get dynamics if I don't have to. We'll see what she does. If she runs a little bit fast, it'll be okay. But it looks like it starts to turn back uphill right up here in this curve. And we got clear on the distant to Dooling. All right, CSX Q544 got clear distant to Dooling. 6365 north outs. I need to change these numbers. That number messes me up so bad. Being on an SD42. Yeah, that worked out pretty good. We're good now. We're right back up 0.7. I didn't feel any bad slack, so I think we're okay on that. I think we're going to try to run to Ideal today. I think Ideal may be good for us. We'll see. Ideal may be ideal, right? it may totally be ideal. We'll see. Yeah, let's get our view down a little bit so we can see just a little bit. I forgot how up and down this stretch is. Like, yeah, it really undulates through here. All right, coming through Byramville. That is, Byramville is another nice little area through town here. I got kudzu. That's what those leaves are on the side of the tracks there. If you're not from this area, or if you haven't been in the South, you're not familiar with kudzu. Kudzu is it's a plant. It's an invasive species. It came from Asia. They brought it from Asia back in the 30s. It was some program. I can't remember what it was called. I've heard of it, but they used it for soil erosion, right? As a plant that they could put down on fields that were being unused or something, just to prevent soil from being eroded. And it takes over everything. Like, it is so relentless on how it takes over things. Like, it can literally grow feet within a night. It can take over trees, houses, telephone poles. It climbs. Like, it's just, it can choke trees out. Like, it can completely choke out a forest by climbing over it. But yeah, kudzu's pretty bad. All over the place. You'll see it. And it's bad for trains too. It'll climb over the tracks, and then when the trains run over the leaves, it leaves like this slicky material and can cause some issues. So they constantly having to spray that stuff back. Yeah, looks like we might come into a little rain or something, right? I kind of wonder. We might see some rain showers. There we go. Looking nice. Looking nice. By far my favorite route. I love running this route. It's so much fun. And not because I just ran it in real life and all that stuff, but it's just, it keeps you really busy. It really keeps you on your toes. You're just about constantly doing something, either working with the throttle, doing something with the brakes, blowing the horn. Like, it's just a lot of stuff going on. All right, we're clear by Dooling. Clear by the south end of Dooling. We'll be up here around the north end, and then be on our way to Oglethorpe. It's be a lot better going northbound into Oglethorpe than southbound through there. Southbound coming out of Oglethorpe's a pretty good climb going up in the fields, you know, like you drag through there pretty good. Alright, kill the bell. Looks like we're going to be starting our downhill again here. Yeah, this route's pretty extreme on it. Changes in grade. It's down. A lot of places it's down and then right back up. Like there's no reprieve whatsoever. Have to be really careful or you get some knuckles and some draw heads, right? I don't know if you can get a draw head in game. I don't think you can, but you most definitely get a knuckle, right? A draw head would be the worst. That would be the worst case scenario. If you get a draw head, you've done messed up big time. Like you better hope it was a car defect. If you get a draw head, you're gonna be in a little trouble. I think I remember seeing a picture from a good while back of someone that like completely ripped a car in half. I want to say it was some kind of a covered hopper. They ripped it in half. I think it was a sill failure or something. The center sill in it, like there was some kind of defect or something in it. But you know that engineer caught some flack for that. It's like how did not only he didn't get a knuckle. He didn't get a draw head. He ripped a car in half completely, like completely in two. And said you got to be on your toes. You just got to think about it. Think about what your train's doing, how it's kind of reacting. As soon as we get through this crossing here, we'll kind of take a peek at it. We're still in a 40. Really? I didn't realize. Yeah, Spur is not paying attention. We're still in a 40. We're still in that 40. I thought we'd come out, but we're still in the 40. I honestly can't remember where the 40 ends, guys. Like I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. I can't remember where the 40 ends. Ooh, we had a little slack too because it didn't bail my independent off. Spur's a bad engineer today, guys. I'm telling you, man. All right, we gotta tighten up. We gotta get it together. This 40 is jacking me up. Like this 40 is completely jacking me up. I can't remember where this 40 ends. Like I'm drawing a complete and total blank on it, guys. I really. And we got this 1.08% downhill here. That's pretty good grade. People say there's no grades in Georgia. Yeah, there definitely is. It's just really short. Oh, there's our rain, right? There's our rain finally come up on us. Yeah, we're gonna have to get some more air. Yeah, let's draw them down. I think we'll go with that. I get a little bit more. Well, for a little bit, try to keep it stretched out some. To me, these little short grades just aren't conducive to using dynamics. Like I said, by the time you come out of power and you go into dynamics, and then you're almost like you're done with the grade in the blink of an eye, and then you got to come all the way out of dynamics and then back into power, and it's just, I don't know. It's just a lot of work, right? That's kind of a tough area to run through. I'll be honest, guys. Like coming down through Dooling in this way, yeah, it's a little challenging through here. Like our speed's kind of all over the place. And now we're right back down again, man. I'm through Hog Crawl Creek here. I think our 40's up here. I think our 40's, the resumed speed is going to be up here around the southbound distant to Dooling. Maybe. That's maybe somewhere up in there. See, we're right back up. Right? We're right back up again. Yeah, that's a challenging area. Honestly, like that little stretch through there from Dooling up to this point is probably one of the more challenging stretches, honestly. Like, that's pretty rough through there. All right, here's our southbound distance to Dooling. Let's see, we get a resume speed here. Clear signal, 721.1. He should be up here somewhere. Now we're back 0.92, right back up, almost a 1% grade, you know? It's so extreme. And when you're working this hard on these trains and you're constantly watching your speed and constantly in and out of the throttle or brakes or whatever, it makes it go by so fast. Once we get down to Oglethorpe and start heading north of Oglethorpe, it won't be too bad. It kind of levels out a little bit. Not level in terms of like flat track, but it is just not as extreme up and down, right? It's predominantly from Oglethorpe. Let's see, Oglethorpe to Ideal is uphill, and then you got the little knot at the south end of Ideal, and it kind of drops down and flattens out. And then from like the north end of Ideal all the way up to Malk is predominantly uphill. Well, either I missed our resume speed, or yeah, we missed it. It was back there somewhere. We totally missed it. We totally missed it. It was back there. It was back there around the distance to Dooling somewhere. All right, up here's Fields. That's going to be the top of the grade. We'll drop down into Oglethorpe. Got the Montezuma DD up here. Hey, is that a crossing right here? Maybe not. No, it's not. Never mind. Cool story. I had a relative, a cousin. I think he was a third cousin. He was way older than me. I mean, when I was a kid, he was probably in his 50s.
CSX. Equipment defect detector. Milepost 722.5.
There we go. All right. Anyway, he was a building contractor. He is a brick mason by trade, and a dang good one too. Like, he was known for laying brick. And back when they installed all those defect detectors, I guess, gosh, I don't know when they installed the defect detectors on the Lineville side, but it was decades ago. He had gotten the contract to do the block work for those little buildings. He did all the buildings between, I want to say he did all the buildings between Manchester and Birmingham. All right, so we're dragging over that grade down there. It's predominantly downhill into Oglethorpe. We can do 50, but we're never going to see that, and we've got a 45 and 1.9 miles. So we're just going to kind of take it easy rolling through here. This would be a location where you could get some dynamics, maybe. It's a little bit of an extended grade, right? We'll see. We'll just kind of roll with it. See what we can do. I don't generally like rolling along it like no power, because that's when you seems like you get a lot of slack running in and out and things going on.
CSX. Equipment.
You know, we look good right here, right? Like there's nothing going on with it.
722.5. No defects. Total axle 386. End of transmission.
All right, 50 on a diamond board. $50 on the diamond. All right, clear by Proco. This is another cool area through here. I like this stretch. All right, we're doing on speed about 44, so we're good on that. We're coming out of the throttle so we can drop down to the river. Yeah, set up some dynamics. $45 on the diamond. All right. We got a little bit of a downhill to the river here. I gotta start gathering up that slack. Going B2. Right there, straight ahead, you can kind of see that little spot in the trees there. That's where the tracks used to go straight ahead into Montezuma. They had street running in downtown Montezuma, and they derailed at least one, maybe two trains there and tore some buildings up. And they wound up rerouting around town. Alright, still looking good. Alright, got clear on the distance to Oglethorpe. 544. Got a 30 coming up on us here. Alright, Flint River. There's gonna be a little bit of a knot right here. Alright, we should be doing good for our 30. We're just gonna hang out right here in B6. Actually, maybe come out of it a little bit. All right, that worked out pretty good, guys. That worked out pretty good. Got a little bit of a climb here in Oglethorpe. All right, 30 on the diamond. Yeah, we got this little bit of a knot coming up to the crossing, and I think it's kind of fairly flat through Oglethorpe. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's not downhill through there. It's probably uphill, either uphill or flat. It may be uphill a little bit through there. I have to go back and look at the profile. I got to clear by Oglethorpe. And a 40 on the diamond. We'll go ahead and count that off. The yard's empty. Not too much going on down here. I've taken a train to the yard at Oglethorpe before. I took a work train down here one time. Way back in the day. Once again, those of you that are watching the video, I did actually, this is a route I worked in real life from time to time. Not a whole lot. But I did come down here from time to time, and the work train I took down here was it was a rail gang. It was they did curves. They replaced rail and curves. All right, it was a curve gang, and we took the train. Let's see, they had it. We got it in Manchester. We took it south. We went that place just north of Oglethorpe called Chip Mill. Up around the feed mill there. We took it and we backed it in at Chip Mill, and they had a galleon. The bottom car of the train had a flat car with a galleon on it. Galleon's crane. So they had a ramp. They took the galleon, they grabbed the ramp, they put it at the end of the car, they rolled it off the end of the car down onto the tracks and then off to the side, and then they just lifted all the equipment off and set it in the weeds on the side of the track. And then when they got done with all that, we had to take the empty train down here to Oglethorpe and tie it down in the yard. I think that was probably the only time I've ever been in the yard at Oglethorpe. Probably the only time I ever went in the siding there. I don't ever remember any other times. All right, let's restart it. We know at 1,700 feet we'll be able to do 40. Yeah, it's pretty flat through here. Not too bad. Clear on the north end, Oglethorpe at 544. All right. And we got a 55 on this diamond board. Another nice little spot right here. I don't know what it is about it, but I like this little area. There's so many nice little scenes, right? All right, we can go on. We can come on out to 40. This next count off is going to be for the 45. We didn't do the 50. We know just a few hundred feet past the 45 is going to be the 50. Plus, we got the thing at the top of the screen. That'll help us. Yeah, we're just gonna go with it. She'll run us a little fast, so it'll be okay. A few mile an hour, I'm okay with, as long as it doesn't get crazy. Yeah, there we go. There's our 45. So we know a little bit past that's going to be the 55. Of course, we'll only be able to do 50. There we go, there's our 50. You can see it's predominantly uphill through here. It undulates a little bit, right? But it's predominantly uphill. All right, let's kill that. Someone sent me a link to the proper digital font for these displays. I need to put that in. I want to thank them for doing that. I just haven't had a chance to put it in yet. All right, next stop ideal. We'll probably just be able to roll right through. I'm sure Homeboy's probably sitting there holding the, I guess the siding. We'll peek. We'll cheat a little bit here and see. No, actually, he's holding the main. Okay. He's holding the main. All right. This is going to be the Tyson lead, I think. I think it is. I think that's the Tyson feed mill, chicken feed, because they do they raise a lot of chickens down here. Right? There's a lot of chicken houses and stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be Tyson. All right, yeah. Semi-regular grain train. I never took grain train to any of these feed mills down here. This Fitzgerald crews always did that as far as I know. But I did take grain trains to a Tyson feed mill up in Talladega quite a few times. That job totally sucked. I just really did not like that job at all. But it was one you had to do from time to time. I think there's a siding here now. There's a big siding here. What is that? Is it Bartlett? That was put in long after I left the railroad. I think that's what it was called right here, maybe. I'm not 100% certain on that, but yeah, there's a siding here. Part of their expansion they did between, or improvements they did between Chicago and Florida. All right, right up here is going to be Chip Mill. That's where I took the rail gang up here. You'll see it in a second. I don't know what they do there now. They used to load, used to do wood chips there back in the day. Little private crossing here. I slipped up on me, right? So yeah, that's the chip mill lead there. Where we took the rail gang. Let's see, we got approach medium on a distant ideal 544. I guess we wanted to do it proper. We'd be CSX Q544 has approach medium distant to ideal. 6365 north out. All right, I got 50 on a diamond. Try to call those out a little bit more. It helps me kind of pay attention. All right, so we'll go in at Ideal and we'll call it there for this video, for today's video. We'll meet whoever this is there. I'm not sure who we're going to be meeting there. I know there's a train there, but I don't know who that is. So we climb into Ideal, and right there at the south end, like starting just south of the south end, or of course it's predominantly climbing the whole way. But just after you go by the signals at the south end, it kind of drops back down and then flattens out. It's a really, really short little grade right there. It's like another little knot. There we go, coming under Georgia 90. That's the road you see a lot along the Fitz, right? I don't know if you guys pay attention, but you see it quite a few times. All right, start coming out of throttle. I gotta figure out how are we going to go in to Ideal. I don't know if I want to use air or dynamics. I'm really not sure on that. We may not really need to use anything. We could just use throttle modulation. Should show us down, slow us down enough to go in up here. I don't know. We may have to grab a little air, honestly, because it's already kind of dropping down a little bit. Yeah, let's just grab some air. There, this may be good right here. 40 on the diamond. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Release it. We should be good with that. Now the thing is, how are we going to ride this the rest of the way in? We may have to do dynamics. We'll see. We'll kind of ease around there. We know it's going to be an in and out. Yeah, I got a medium clear into the siding, South Ideal. And then a 50 on the diamond. Yeah, we're about to ride dynamics in the rest of the way. This is a spot, it works out pretty good for that because it's downhill and then it's just flat. It's not like we're going to start going right back uphill. All right, there's our train. Nice. Who's this going to be? I don't know. I'm drawing a complete and total blank, guys. It's got some auto racks in the train. It's gonna be 685. Yeah, it's gonna be 685. That's going to be Nashville to Waycross service. before they did this last symbol change where it changed everything up completely. That train had been around for a long, long time. Oh man, it sucks to be him. He's been sitting there for a while. Yeah, he's been sitting there for a hot minute, waiting on us. Yeah, it sucks to be you. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna come up here to the north end. We're gonna stop it, call it a day. We'll pick up with the next one. Of course, Ideal is flat as a pancake, so it was an ideal location for a depot. It had a nice depot down here back in the day. I don't know if it's still there or not, to be honest. I'm trying to remember if it was even there when I worked it. I can't, like, I'm drawing a blank on that one too. Some of this stuff you don't really pay attention to, right? Like, it's just something you don't give it a second thought until later, and then you're like, well, I don't know. All right, 685 train looks good. Conductor's over there asleep. He doesn't know what's going on, right? Yeah, he's awake. Sometimes he nods off, though. You catch him, he'll be nodding off over there. All right, I've got a medium clear on the north end of Ideal, but we're going to stop up here and call it a day. We'll just go ahead and use dynamics to stop. Now, after Ideal is when our climb gets really challenging, right? We'll climb up to starting at Rupert. Well, from here, from Ideal to Rupert is mostly uphill. There may be a little bit of an up and down, but it's very light, right? But it's predominantly uphill, and then from Rupert to Malk is going to be the big grade where we climb up the Georgia Fall Line. It's called the Georgia Fall Line, where the Piedmont changes over to the coastal plain. So it's a big hill over the entire state of Georgia. We'll keep easing on up here and then we'll stop. Since we're flat, we'll be able to go in some power and kind of stretch it to a stop a little bit. Use that slack out. Yeah, that's going to be a good climb. It's a good steady climb for what, like 7 miles maybe, give or take. Roughly a 1%. We got plenty of power though. We're 1.9 HPT, so it'll slow us down, but we should by no means drag up that hill. Well, that worked out pretty good, because I tell you right now, we could have been the ones that got stuck at Dooling waiting on this guy, which would have been the opposite, right? Like, he got stuck here waiting a hot minute for us. We totally could have got stuck at Dooling, though. The dispatcher was being nice to us. All right, let's go ahead and grab some air. We'll just stop right here. We'll call it right here. All good things must come to an end, right? It's been a ton of fun, though. I've really enjoyed doing these for you guys, and I think you guys have enjoyed it as well, too. At least I hope you have. Maybe, I think a multiplayer would be a lot of fun on here sometime. All right, this should be good enough right here, so we can just go ahead and get it stopped. Sweet, there you go. Let's hop off, take a look at our power reel real quick here, maybe for another screenshot. Looking very nice, right? I dig the Conrail. Used to catch those back in the day in the early 2000s. Used to get those quite a bit, different Conrail units. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Love all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the rails next time. Peace!